Hello, everybody, and welcome. And we're back to the Graves Mistake podcast. I'm your one host, Starch,
I'm your other host, Justin.
and we are back. So, we're not doing Beetlejuice like we said. We kind of lied on accident. We'll eventually get to it, but today we're going to do something a little bit more fun. Last week was Friday the 13th, so in order to honor that, we're going to be doing Friday the 13th, the 2009 remake.
His name was Jason. And today is his birthday.
Now, this movie is not controversial in the sense of whether it's good or not, but it's controversial in the sense of do we really need to be remaking classic horror movies in a way that's kind of soulless and just focuses on like the prime characteristics of these movies? Instant reactions, Justin. How did we feel about the movie after re-seeing it for like the probably 19th time in our lives?
Well, I don't know if I'm just like very used to like the very brutal killing we've been getting as of like the recent years, but like I feel like it was kind of tame when it came to like the deaths of the characters. I'm not sure how about you. How'd you feel about that?
The brutality, I guess, was like toned down compared to modern standards. It did seem though that they did at least attempt to use practical effects, which I love. This is a little bit before the CGI overtake era, you know.
Overhaul, yeah.
Yeah, so I will say, like some of the kill scenes are fairly graphic, but I would say the explicit nudity is a bit more
Oh my gosh, yeah.
egregious comparatively. Okay, so I would say like my instant reaction from watching the movie is it's definitely a classic. Like for me, like 2009, you know, I was about like 9 or 10 years old. So like
Mhm.
watching this movie is definitely like, oh my god, this is very early 2000s, and I can see why it was scary, you know, when I was younger. Also, I could see why it's a little bit enticing, considering that they were like, oh yeah, here's some ridiculous, like
Yes, I
just
know.
over the top lewd scenes. So
There's like three sex scenes in the movie, I think.
and
Somewhere
they're
around there.
just in your face. There's no chill whatsoever. They
Very
really
blatant.
just they
Yeah.
really just milk that. I'm actually curious before we get into the movie itself. Do you remember the first time you saw this movie and how you reacted to it when you were younger?
See, I think when I was a kid, I remember some of like the very first scene. The rest of the movie was kind of a blur, except for that very end, which I think I do remember, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
But yeah, I do want to say I remember the campfire scene, but nothing like too specific. Like, nothing revolving around like the sexually
Explicit
implicit
nature of
moments.
the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
that's fair. I remember my first time I think watching this movie, I think was at a sleepover. And
Mhm.
I think I was like scared because I didn't used to watch horror movies as I was a kid. I just remember the opening scene. Oh, actually, that's the second opening scene where you meet the first group of campers, explicit scenes, and then the entire third act of the movie I pretty much remember. But that whole middle chunk is just absolutely removed from my brain. So rewatching it this time, if the film felt a little bit more nuanced and I paid attention to the characters, but there's not a lot of character there. I mean, they pretty much all just play standard archetypes or tropes in this movie. Um, I guess we can get in. We can get into it.
Okay,
So,
we can. Let's go.
so the film opens up with two opening shots to kind of set the scene. One, they kind of skip over the original Friday the 13th plot, where spoiler alert for the entire Friday the 13th franchise, if you're unfamiliar. But Jason Voorhees' mother is the killer in the original movie, so they kind of show you a little snippet, black and white, um, shaky
Your head
cam
getting cut off. Yeah.
yeah, shaky cam video of Jason's mom getting her head cut off, and then we kind of figure out that Jason's a resurrected ghost zombie, and then we get the actual open to the movie where these campers, oh my god, they're so gross, dude. They're like frat guys and
It's really
sorority
bad.
girls, but they're all like clearly 32, not
Yes.
21 or 18. So it feels a little strange, and oh my god, man. What so I did have a question. Are they going
Mhm.
there? Are they camping at that spot because they planted weed here in Crystal Lake like 6 months ago and are coming back to grab it? or like
I was kind of confused by this too, because I'm like, are they using some type of like geolocator where it's like someone made a post saying, "Oh, guys, there's some weed over here. I know for sure. You guys got to check out these random coordinates." Like,
yes, bro, he's got like a survivor GPS
yes. What
phone
are we
for this thing.
doing?
Yeah, so my theory there is that they planted the cannabis and then they were coming to camp in that spot because they knew they put it there. But no one except the nerdy archetype dude is focused on the weed. Everyone else pretty much immediately bangs like this is a an X-rated movie with zero plot. Like the one girl starts oiling herself up in front of her man and her man's best friend, and I was like, ain't no way we're doing this right. No one has ever done this in real
Yes.
life ever. Like,
Like she's like she takes off her clothes and well his friend can't see her because she's behind him, and then at the end she just throws the bra at her boyfriend and like what are we doing here?
and she
Are we
has
being
the
serious?
she has the audacity to close her shirt when the friend turns
Like
around
we
and
turns
pretend like
around, he's
nothing's
like,
happening.
oh my god, clutching her pearls.
Yeah, so this was I guess we can focus on the picking nits and criticisms later, but
Oh man.
like, let me tell you something. Who the fuck can packs baby oil as a camping product? Like, I didn't see them bring toilet paper or even food for that matter, but she made sure to bring baby oil.
Okay, so the first kill was like the nerdy guy, and of course he finds the weed, and then we I think we get a lot of these shots of where I want to say like, Jason's just behind him, and he just turns around, and boom, he kills him.
Oh
First
yeah,
death.
he finds the stuff. He's like,
Yeah,
dude,
oh
let's
yeah,
go! I
let's
found it.
go.
Yeah, dude. And then then he goes, oh, and then he just like he catches like a machete to the face.
Yep.
And then after that, honestly, we're off to the races. It's a hack and slash fest. This is a slash movie. This is what I want to see. I want to see just super gritty death scenes. I want to see these survivors get lapped up, and they did. My man, he said they, the shorty and dude of beaten cheeks, or whatever.
Oh yeah.
She's like, tell your friend to stop watching, and that's insane to me. That's her first reaction is that your friend is watching us do this. Complete invasion of privacy to me. I don't know how
Yep.
they possibly thought that, but yeah, he pulls up, boom. Bro gets out of the tent. He's like, where my homie at? Steps on a bear trap. Gets back. His girlfriend is hanging upside down, getting lit on fire. I'm like, okay, Jason, go off.
Oh, dude, that was insane. Like I was just not expecting that. Do you remember that from the original, like
Oh, it
from
was
this
on
movie when
site.
you were a kid?
It was on site. No, I remember him stepping in. No, actually, I do remember that. Her upside down on fire. That one stuck out in my head because I was just like, bro, how did he tie her up there like that? And how long did it take her to die?
See,
Terrible way to
something
go.
I don't know if she would have died. Like, how do you feel? I think she would have just been burned.
I imagine
I'm not.
she like suffocated to death because of the smoke and like the and the
Oh yeah, she's inside of a tent. Yeah, so like, the smoke going straight up and just yeah being trapped. Yeah, okay.
yeah. It was a weird thing though. I thought the whole beanbag would catch on fire and we would just get her whole corpse turning into a crisp, but no.
Oh yeah, me too. I really thought she was just gonna just straight up like burn the entire time, but no.
No, but honestly, like I'm a big fan of this kind of opening. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, we're actually gonna like. It's not gonna take 30 minutes for Jason to start killing people in these movies. They're like right off the bat, this movie is about kill scenes and dumbass tropes. So at least
Yeah.
they knew what they were doing.
So I'm thinking like I forgot this movie, so I'm like, oh okay, this is obviously the group we're gonna be with for the entire movie, right?
Yes,
No,
no,
no.
no, not at all. The first group always gets fucked up. Except in Friday the 13th is usually kind of different. Usually they have like one person come to Crystal
That's I
Lake.
thought most horror movies, well, at least I think there's one person that's like, boom, dead, like the first kill. Not an
Yes.
entire group of people.
Oh yeah,
Like
we squad wiped the
you kind of
entire
got it
first
on that one.
section.
I'll give him that for that was kind of creative.
It's like with both flashbacks, I feel like we're in the third installment of this remade franchise. So they did a
Oh
really
yeah,
good job
yeah.
at making that happen. Yeah. So then we're introduced to our actual main cast, um, which is played by the same girl that's in the Flash, Miss Danielle. Panabaker, if that's how you
Hmm.
pronounce that right. Yeah, she plays Jenna, our main protagonist, and all of her friends are, of course, absolute assholes. Like at the bottom of the barrel, backstabbing losers. Um,
Yeah, so we get Trent, we get
Treads.
Chewie, the the token Asian person of the group, and then we get Lawrence, the token black person of the group, and then we get somebody else. I forgot her name.
yeah,
I think
there's
she's only in the movie to show off her breast, it seems like, and her sexuality, because that's all she's really used for.
yeah, they did not give the female leads in this movie
Oh man.
were not
Oh
really
man.
shining, I would say. Yeah, there's
Oh
three
no.
there's three women in total. Protagonist, random blonde, I think, and then random brunette, because she's
Yep.
got that dumb boyfriend who steals, who like, he borrows the car and goes to steal the boat
Oh, that
later on
is
in the
her
movie.
boy. Wait, yeah, we get another one. I forgot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's that
Huh.
whole other couple. So
They
yeah,
go so fast, I forgot about them.
yes, they die pretty quickly, but none of the characters in this movie are remarkably memorable for their like
Yeah, no.
personalities.
I would say the person we meet at the gas station who's looking for his sister, Clay, he's probably the only person who's
Yes.
interesting in some type of way. He's going around looking for his sister, who was a part of that first group
Yep.
of the campers who got destroyed, squad wiped. But
Yes. So yeah, Clay's looking around for his sister, ends up meeting with this group of party goers. Airbnb in 2009, kind of ahead of the time. I know it's like Trent's like parents' summer home, but it's
yeah,
definitely
that's
giving
it. Yeah.
Airbnb vibes. So we have a Crystal Lake experience that isn't just classic camping. It's not just camp counselors. It's actually just basically a group of college students going to enjoy the lake, and they fucking suck. There's nothing
It's
redeemable
so
about
it
this.
is. I'm like do actual like college people like look like this slash act like this?
I
Maybe they
didn't.
do, but yeah, not
Yeah,
us.
no,
Not
man.
us.
No, that's like the worst type of human beings. So pretty much like my brain turns off for most of this movie,
The
especially
same
in the
thing happened to
beginning.
me.
Cause Trent says sees Clay and he's like, "Hey, dude, can you just like move your dead fucking sister's posters out of the way? Cause I'm trying to
He,
buy like a 12 pack."
he's in line and he's just talking to the guy at the front desk, and Trent is getting so mad for absolutely no reason,
For no
and I'm
reason.
why is he's just in there in this story to be a dick,
Oh
it
yeah,
seems.
yeah. No, they like his acting notes were just like be extremely like unbearable to every single other character you meet on this production. And he's like,
Yeah,
I got it, dude, and he plays that point to a T. I'm actually
I
proud
agree.
of his performance. Stellar. All right, so skipping forward into the movie, we've got pretty much like the meat and potatoes of it. They get there, they start getting drunk. The two couple members go off. They're like, "Let me borrow your car. We're gonna go take the boat out." Haha. And he's
No,
like, "Hey,
Trent's like, you better not ride my boat.
hey man, I'm the only one that rides this boat. Here, take my keys. Look, I'm cool. I let them do whatever they want, man. I'm not high strung."
Yes,
It's
yes.
so bad, bro. He's
It's like
trying to
his
impress
girlfriend is.
Jenna, and Jenna
Yeah.
doesn't care. You could like she's so drastically different than every other person they go on this trip with. I'm actually kind of surprised that she's friends with any of them. I'm very curious to her origin story in that friend group because she doesn't
It,
even seem like she likes him.
she sees Clay and she's immediately attached to this person, so much so that when he shows up to the house, even though like you were telling me this before we were talking about it, he shows up to this house. He knows it's the same people he saw at the gas station because it's the same car.
It's the
And
same
he still
car.
has the nerve to go into this dude's house.
Oh yeah, she's like, "Hey, why don't you come inside and get a drink?" And then he's like, "That's probably stupid because your boyfriend just like almost fought me over talking
I
about my
mean, it's
dead
no
sister."
problem.
And he's like, "Yeah, I'll come in for a Miller, a Miller High Time." Comes
God.
in there immediately, beef, of course, with Trent.
Hey, who let this guy in?
Yeah. No, oh my god. All right, and then basically smash cut at some point to the couple that's on the lake. They're riding around. She decides to pull her top off for absolutely no reason, and then we get a
Oh, she's doing the jet ski, not the jet ski,
water skiing. We get a
wakeboarding.
wakeboarding. We get a water sports scene. Yeah, and then it's basically like a 30-second clip of her riding around in the back of this boat topless, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, get it. She's a baddie."
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we get expert sniper Jason.
Oh yeah, Jason Bourne.
Dude,
Friday the 13th, Jason Bourne edition, just throat shot at 500 yards. Olympic medalist material, actually.
I think he hit him straight through the cranium, man. And then oh what she falls off the wakeboard first and then he does it as he's coming back around to get her.
Yes, I actually did enjoy that. That was a very like, interesting piece of Jaws level horror. The boat starts approaching her at high speeds, and by this point, she doesn't know he's dead. So she's like, "Haha, come on, stop!" And he doesn't. And then she gets smacked in the noggin with this boat. Like she
See,
gets
I
run
thought
the
she was
fuck
dead
over.
here. Like
Yes.
I thought she was done for. I thought the propellers in the back. That was the only thing I was thinking about. Anytime I think of a boat and like it hitting somebody, like the propellers, but she just gets bopped by this boat, not knocked unconscious, even though like that's a big hit.
Yes.
Like,
Now you can tell she's seriously dazed and concussed because there's like blood coming out of her skull. Uh,
you know what? It kind of reminds me of the scene in It Too, where it's like the beginning scene where the person's thrown off the boat or the bridge, and he's disoriented, and he sees like pink blood
Oh fuck!
looking at him
Actually,
through the
yes. Oh, that's
trees.
exactly what happens here too. Because she looks over into the tree line and she sees Jason with the bow and arrow, and she
Mhm.
starts screaming, which makes her drive. Not drive. She makes her swim across the other side of the lake, and we get this really cool scene where she's hiding from the killer, and you don't think Jason can see her. It's a
Um,
very Michael Myers walking past the survivor in the closet.
Very much so, yeah.
And then like you
And then
get
the boat
this,
dock.
yes, audio jump scare of the machete coming through the boat dock, hitting her in the head, and then pulling her up just enough so where you can see her boobs, because this movie is just going to keep reminding you that it's R-rated and it likes to show you
That's
nudity.
a great that was a great memory, bro. I forgot about that,
It's
but
so excessive. Like it's not. They're not even trying to hide it. They're just like, oh, boobs one more last time. Like, come on.
see, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I just knew it was coming. Just that shot where they stopped looking up through the cracks at his footsteps. As soon as it looked straight at her, I'm like, that machete is coming straight through them.
Really?
Yes,
Every
that there.
time I watch that scene, I forget it happened. So I was just like,
Oh
oh yeah,
my!
she dies here.
I oh, man, like this. Do you think this movie is cheesy? Going off topic, just a
It's
little
so
bit.
bad. Yeah, it's like it's playing the hits and all the tropes. So that's what it is. It's like if you just take all that stanky ass cheese, all that
Yeah.
sharp white cheddar, and 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 putting it into a remade edition, that that's what they did. But they kind of hit the nail on the head. Like this feels like the vibe of those '80s slasher movies. A
Yeah.
premarital sex, drug use, and young people.
Of
And for
course.
some
Yeah.
reason they should all die for that.
Yes. So now we can get back. We can get back to the cabin. So after these two die, the first couple, we go back to the cabin while Clay and the other girl, because I forget everybody's name. What is her name? Bree or
Oh
Jenna?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Bree's the
Bree or
guy, the girl he cheats on later. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we get yeah, so we get Bree and Clay. They're off looking for his sister, and we go back to the party house. Man, we got Lawrence and we got Chewy. His name is Chewy.
Oh my God, we have to go back for a second. So introducing a lot of these
Oh,
characters when they
yes,
first arrive at the cabin, we
yes.
discover that what's his name, Lawrence.
Lawrence.
We
Lawrence is
discover Lawrence is a musician. Yes, and one of the white actresses or characters. It's not. Is it Bree or
it's
somebody?
Chelsea,
Chelsea.
actually.
Somebody asks him, "Hey, you rap, right?"
What business?
Music. Trying to start a label.
Oh, yeah? Like what kind? Like rap?
Why you gotta go racial? Look, don't put me in a box, all right? What? Because I'm black, I can't listen to Green Day?
You're right, that was dumb. So, what kind of music?
Rap.
And incredibly racist. Obviously, a
Mhm.
2009 microaggression.
Bro, best line of the movie, bro. That was so funny to me. I'm like, okay, of course.
So bad.
Of course he's gonna say that.
So bad, man. It's like, okay, so we have one black character. He's a rapper.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. We have our Asian character whose entire personality is that he's a gross alcoholic. So we've already not done the minorities well, but I do have a section that we'll talk to later when we get into the categories. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so we're pushing along. Trent's beefing with Clay. They're going through that thing. Nighttime
Wait,
finally rolls around. Oh, what's up?
wait. Which one? Oh yeah, Trent. Yeah, Trent is beefing with Clay Major. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
But
nighttime rolls around. At some point, Clay talked to some farmer dude chopping up wood at some
oh yeah,
lady's property or something like that. And this guy's also a terrible representation of like a rural farmer. Man, they got him with buck teeth, a thick Southern accent for no reason because no one
mhm.
else in this movie has one. And of course he's looking
Yeah. Like,
at
where's this take place?
no, literally, and of course he's looking at explicit magazines. So we
Right,
get
after
more.
smoking the weed that was found, he found the weed.
Right, there was that connection. He offers to sell it to Clay, and I thought that was pretty
Oh
funny.
yeah, that was a nice little
He was
callback.
like, "I found pounds of that shit over there. If you want to buy some, I'm serious." And he's like, "I'm
Yeah,
actually
sure.
good, man. I don't want your forest weed." And so leaving. I thought we were gonna get a super cool wood chipper kill scene here, but
I thought
actually
so too.
we get this one-on-one fight scene. I'm not gonna lie, whoever this guy is, he's got amazing reaction speed. Jason sneaks up behind him. He goes, "Oh shit!" and he turns around. He gets a lick in. You know, he reacted
Mhm.
quick. He wasn't just gonna sit there and die. Then Jason puts like was he slits his throat? Pretty sure he slits his throat with
He does
something.
slice. Yeah, he slices through it with his classic machete, and
Classic
this is
machete.
where the whole time this nigga's wearing a bag
Oh,
on his head.
yes, he's wearing like a potato sack on his head because he hasn't
Yeah,
discovered himself yet.
and then he just looks down, sees the hockey mask. Oh no, I think the farmer dude rips the bag,
Yes, the bag
and
gets ripped
then
off.
yes, he's like, "Oh, I need something else," to cover his face.
Yeah, he finds his
Sees the hockey
iconic hockey
mask.
mask, which is honestly a recurring motif in a lot of the Friday the 13th movies. Jason will randomly find a new hockey mask in whatever convenient location of one of his victims is.
Hmm.
So, that's not super new. I did like that they started with the bag in his head, that they didn't immediately, like, there'd be no reason for Jason to walk out with a hockey mask in Crystal Lake. Without context, so that was cool. Did enjoy that we got a little bit of an origin story with that.
Hmm.
Continuing on, so that guy dies. Unfortunately, he didn't get his boobs in real life, because remember, he's licking the magazine. This guy is
Yeah,
just physically licking the heck. Like, this director is a little horny. What was it, Marcus Nispel? I looked
yeah.
at his like IMDb. Apparently, he loves just remaking slasher movies. That's like what he does. Is he'll make
Is
sequels
that?
to old, like
Oh
Texas
yeah,
Chainsaw Massacre. He's just
right.
a big sequel guy. Um, so that guy's murdered. We're back to our main cast. It's nighttime now. Pretty much
Hmm.
nighttime. They've done some drinking, some beer pong. Chewy drank beer out of his own shoe.
Yeah, Lawrence hits a fat bomb.
Uh,
Bong. I mean, he just
yes.
hits these rips
Oh,
up.
that's right. Because Lawrence has to bring the bazooka
Of course,
bong.
yes. This token black person
So
has
bad.
smoke weed. Yes, of course.
Yeah. Oh my God. Man. And this is where the movie actually becomes a memory to me. This is where it actually starts picking off. So we find out Clay's sister's actually kidnapped. Boom, Jason took her in the basement because she looks like his mom but younger.
Hmm.
We also find out that Trent is getting mad at Jenna for talking to Clay. So he's like, forget it. I'm going to bang Bree, our friend on this trip. So they go upstairs, and it is one of the most explicit
Oh
intercourse scenes
man,
in horror movie history. They did this one crazy. It's just like an up close
like,
shot. It's like 5 minutes long.
it's
It's
crazy. 'Cause I don't feel like they do this anymore, man.
They
Like this is
don't.
just, it's just a standout. Like, why are we looking at this for so long?
For so long, and I'm not. The dialogue is so cringy. He says
Yeah,
her boobs are perfect. They're screaming at each other with like the camcorder. I'm like, please,
yeah. Am I
no, I'm too
watching
old
American
for this.
Psycho?
Am I
Yeah,
watching American Psycho? It's like I must have clicked on the wrong Friday the 13th. You know.
yes,
Uh,
yeah,
so after that happens, Jenna's banging on the door. She's like, please, there's a killer. Stop
yeah.
fucking.
Hmm.
And then Jenna's completely unfazed. She really doesn't care that Trent's cheating on her right now. She's more concerned about the fact that Jason's in the house. Chewie goes out to the shed. Bam, gets murdered. He gets like a fucking
Yeah,
screwdriver
this
shoved
dude's
in his
just an
neck.
asshole. Like he's just drinking. He finds more like alcohol, drinks it, gets a hockey stick, hits the light. I'm like, this dude is just like, what is wrong with him? And
He's
then
like 8 years old. He has zero responsibility. Honestly.
another classic scene, like another Jason right behind them.
Oh yeah. So he did. And they pulls out, boom, screwdriver, you're dead. You know what? Lawrence is real as fuck for this. He's like, hey man, listen, the only one I got in my life is Chewie. Chewie's real,
Yeah,
man. I gotta go help him out,
bro.
bro.
I gotta commend him for that. He's
I,
like, I'm about to go get my boy.
I'm about
Like,
to go get my boy for real. They not playing. So he pulls up, looks for him. He's like, oh fuck, that's Jason. He honestly gets some licks in.
yes,
Uh,
yes, he does. He's boxing with this dude. He's running away, but hey
Man,
man,
what's that dude from Friday the 13th? Jason Takes Manhattan.
I
He was
was thinking
whooping
the
his ass.
same
So yeah,
thing,
man,
bro.
they love
So
giving
happen to be
the
black as
oh
well.
yeah, the black characters in horror movies always get a few licks in with the killer. Like up to
Apparently,
float like a butterfly, sing like a bee. They just
and
whooping
like
his
a bee.
ass a little bit. Yeah, so Lawrence is running. He's booking it. Boom. But we forgot Jason is once again a gold
Jason's
medalist in the
Jason,
Olympics.
perfect accuracy.
Right, tomahawk across the map, scopes bro in the back, and they're like, "Oh my god, we gotta go save him!" Ah! And and instead of doing that, they're like, "He's actually bait. We don't want to go out there and get killed." So Jason slowly approaches him. Uh, uh, slams him on his back, which the axe is in his back, so he basically just like slams bro further onto the axe, killing him. Another awesome practical effects
That's
looking
pretty cool. Yeah.
murder. Yeah. So we're pretty much down to like 3 people at this point. We got Trent. We got Trent, Bree,
Frank
and
Clay.
Clay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the other girl.
Yeah, and then so Jason's like, Bree, you fulfilled your character role in this movie by being naked for 30 seconds, picks her up by the neck, slams her shit on the hook, which is a very, actually, that might be my favorite kill scene in the movie. We'll get back to that
Okay.
later. But yeah,
Mhm.
he kills her by slamming her on the coat rack, basically, on the back of the bathroom door. Trent finally pulls out a gun after like 3 acts of homicide. Decides that he remembers that his parents carry a semi-automatic pistol. Grabs that
Mhm.
shit. Of course, he's an idiot. The second he hears noise, he's just blasting,
Shoot
wasting
through the
bullets.
door. So I'm like, so when that happened, I thought they were gonna be like, "Oh my god, you killed her," and he was like, "It's so funny because he's like, oh my god, he got her."
Oh yes,
Did you see? Like, I was
yes,
like,
bro. He like wall bangs his dead mistress, and then he like peeks through the door. He's like, "Yep, she's fucking dead. Let's keep it
yeah.
going. Let's keep it
Like,
going."
there's no possibility in his head that he's the one that killed her. Like,
Oh no, no one was thinking about that. But we've decided that writing's no longer important. We just need to get to the kill shots.
yes,
Um,
okay, well, oh man, now we get a separation because they're all
Oh, don't
running.
forget the useless police officer shows up. Classic
Oh
archetype
my
here. Yeah,
god,
so the police who have had no leads in this investigation, I mean, I kind of understand. It's a fucking ghost zombie killing people, so I could see why
yeah,
they didn't have that many leads. Officer shows up, which is, by the way, to a homicide call. I don't understand why dispatch didn't go, hey, the victim sounded extremely frantic on the phone. You should probably get like 3 other
more
cars
than
with
one
you.
person.
Yeah, he shows up irritated. He knocks on the door. He's like, "What's up?" And then Jason wastes no fucking time. Boom,
Yeah,
coming out the back. I think it's like a fireplace poker or some. Shoves it right through that motherfucker's neck. Comes out the door. Almost hits Clay.
gets into the door.
I'm
Yeah.
like, man, we're on some Michael Myers and Halloween kill. We're on a killing
Yeah,
spree.
that does remind me. Yeah, okay, that was
Hmm.
good.
Yeah,
Comparison.
we ain't wasting time. We're getting our popcorns worth.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. So we run away, split up. Trent takes a different route than the other two because obviously he wants to survive. Ends up getting caught lacking. How does Trent fucking die? For some reason, this one escapes my memory.
Oh, this is the one I do remember. He is, oh my gosh, he runs. He's running, gets to a road. A truck stops. He's in the, oh my god,
Yes. Oh, he's
Hank-
skeptical of the driver. That's right.
He's like, the driver is waving for him to get in the car, and Trent's like, I don't know. And then boom, Jason comes from behind him, picks him up, slams him on like the hitching of like, I think it's a tow truck or something like
It's
that.
like a hay bale fork that's mounted on the
Yes,
truck.
yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. So, and then the driver just drives off with Trent just dying on in the back.
This
That was
poor
pretty good.
like 97-year-old farmer was just trying to help this guy hitch a lift to town, and he ends up trailing a body with him, which is so, I mean, honestly, Trent's decision making is once again horrendous. After making like the worst like you know 3 decision combination in his life, he like picks up a gun, wastes all the ammo, doesn't shoot the killer once, and runs away from his friends. He decides to not trust the random driver on the road? Did he think the guy killing everyone just pulled up in like a 2001 Ford
Yeah,
F-150?
yeah. And I'm like, I don't. When I saw that happen, I'm like, I don't think Jason can drive.
Yeah, like you thought he pulled up and was gonna try to like roofie you in the side seat of the car? Like he just switched
Yeah,
MOs, man? Get in the fucking car, man.
I'm in that mode. Like I'm like, obviously, the person he doesn't know it was Jason. The person who was chasing me did not find a car and pulled up next to me, like
Yeah,
immediately.
he took
There's
way
no,
too long. He got teleported on, so Trent's finally dead, which is honestly a blessing because I couldn't hear any more terrible dialogue from that guy.
yeah, man, it's cringe, man. You can't do it no more.
Yeah, other 2 characters run into the shack, find a Pamela Voorhees' severed head next to a shrine, and Clay's sister. So they unhook
Yay!
her. They're ready to go. They're running, and then we get this like tunnel sequence where they're kind of trying to
I
escape
just knew it.
Jason.
That was another time I just did you know this was coming? Like, come on,
Yes,
you had to.
yes.
Okay.
They
Okay.
saw him coming down the thing. She gets grabbed, a machete through the back of the chest. I'm like, man, like it's going down. So you can
Yeah.
take us through this last act, because by this point I'm like I've already seen what I needed to. At this point, I just need to see the final girl face the killer.
Yeah. So They are struggling for some reason. This nigga's like tunnels lead into a flipped over bus, and we get the scene of Clay and the other girl, his sister. I am forgetting her name. They're fighting him, and Clay and Jason are on top of this bus, and Jason slams this dude's face into the glass, presumed dead. You would think. And while his sister hides underneath the bus, Jason comes back in. He's like, where are you?" And she knocks him down into the hole a little bit. Comes back out. Oh, guess what? Clay's alive. Like, what is going on here? Like, there's no. This is Michael. Like, Clay is dead.
Oh yeah, no. For some reason, Jason decided to go for the knocking unconscious route. It's like he had like a moral dilemma after his like
Yeah,
15-person homicide. He's like, this guy, I don't know, he's kind of cool. Let's knock him unconscious and see what's
I
going
give him
on.
like yeah, 2 punches. I mean, I heard the glass break, so you gotta be dead, all right? Like,
Right.
what?
Yeah, I just ripped a guy's head off with my bare hands like 2 movies ago, but nope, I'm good with a 1-2 combo.
Yes.
So yeah, basically, final girl escapes. Jason catches the 1-2 combo. They put him in the lake, and then obviously he gets his like classic return scene. Roll credits. Movie's over.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Honestly, this movie got a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I
I know you.
can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean, after it was over, I was like, oh wow, that was actually bad.
Oh, oh yeah. When I saw
Usually,
this movie in like 2011 for the first time, I was like, "Oh my
uh,
god, can I please get a sequel? That's the best thing I've ever seen in my life." You know?
yeah, no. So I just usually I'm not that tough on movies. I guess I haven't watched too many, but like or like the quality nowadays isn't as bad as it used to be or it can be. But man, this one really, I was like, this is bad. This is bad. I mean, of course, this is Friday the 13th movie. It is in the franchise, but man, like compared to the other ones, do you think this is a weak this is the weaker one?
See, I actually have a hot take here. So, this is a good time moving to criticisms, but I
Mhm.
actually think that how bad this movie is, the poor writing, the terrible acting,
Oh, okay. You
the
think it makes it good off of that?
the lack of rational choice and the explicit nature of the film and the gore, it's like it makes it a cult classic. This is 2009 bundled up in a cashless sequel, you know? Like
Okay.
it's
I'll
just
agree that
like
it's fun bad.
it's
I'll
every
give
yeah,
you
it's everything there. It's like, do you want to remember what like child like horror movies were like when we were like a kid? You watched like Paranormal Activity and 2009's Friday the 13th. You know what I mean?
that.
It's just like
Yes.
all the dog shit tropes from our childhood are packed up into one here. So I enjoy rewatching. I can't do it all the time. It's not classic and vintage enough for me to go back and enjoy it and kind of
Mhm.
be like, oh, this is innovative for this and this. It's not. It's just like a brain dead uh, nostalgia.
Turn your brain off. Yeah, I see.
Exactly.
Well, I can't wait to hear your score because
Oh, fuck it. We can just skip to the score right now.
okay. I need. You know, I'm having a hard time, but I always say it's a 5.
This
I think
movie
it's
is a 6.5 out of 10.
6.5. Okay.
And
I think
because I'm here at a
I agree.
slasher movie to watch the killer murder people.
Yes.
Now,
But
he does
there's
that.
good slasher movies. Like there's better Friday the 13th movies.
Yes. However, most of those movies back in the day took way too long to get the kills going. They usually like established the characters, the scenery, and the suspense before they started having people get killed. You know,
Oh
this
well, yeah, that's
movie,
what makes the deaths more like impactful. Like he's just killing people.
man,
Like
this is like the 15th movie in the franchise. I don't want to get impacted. They made me hate every character in this movie, so when they get
it's a
killed, I
bad
feel
movie.
amazing.
They made you hate the because of the writing and how bad it was. That's
Yeah,
why
it's
they made you
great.
hate.
Nah, man, it's not too often I can be like, I'm happy every single character caught the smoke in this. You know, you're really rooting for Jason to kill everybody in this movie. Okay, criticisms. Would you like to go first? What are your like most nitpicky? This is in my way. I can't suspend my disbelief moments in the film.
Okay, we got kind of went over a couple of them. Obviously, like the explicit sexual scenes, the two minority characters who are just they both die in the same way basically. Both go into the shed and then die from Jason being in the shed. So they couldn't even change it up for like the two.
No.
And just how bland they were. Just honestly, they were more fun characters. The other bland characters to be like the girlfriend who's with Clay. She's kind of weird for just following this dude around for no reason. She
Oh
just
my
mad. Like,
god,
what
the
is going
entire
on here?
party. Yes.
The deaths were just like, oh, you're stabbed. I cut your throat. There's nothing like crazy. I guess like you
Okay, so
said
you wanted
the
some art involved. You wanted some John
yeah
Wick
yeah. I
Halloween
wanted some like
2018 style murder. Okay.
split splash. I wanted some. Oh my god, it had that scene in the movie. I don't think it had any of that. Like, there's no. Oh my god, I can't look at this.
The honestly, I feel like that first group who got killed, they got it all. Like the bear trap, followed by the head splitting
Okay, the
open,
bear trap. Yeah,
and
that
all
was
that
like
stuff.
yeah. I
They did
concur.
pretty great there, but you're honestly kind of right. Yeah, like he was pretty simple with it.
Yeah.
He was being quick. He was being too fast. He was eating his food too quickly.
Watching a Deadpool movie where Deadpool gets stabbed and like it
Yeah.
just makes you immune to stabbing. I don't
Okay,
know.
you're a little desensitized to because there's no art involved. I get it. You like your kills to be a little bit more avant garde, a little bit more special.
Special, but not too special where I'm like not too much of that. I
Oh,
need at
like the
least one.
Terrifier. The Terrifier is like that for me. That's too much. That's
It's
too
too
much. And
much.
like and all the characters feel super realistic. We're not talking about that,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah,
that the Terrifier is on the other side of the scale for me. That's too. You went too far, buddy. You went too
yeah.
far. Okay, so my criticisms,
Hmm.
pretty much the same of yours. I will say some of the other choices in the movie that kind of suck, that kind of have to do with what we talked about. If the women are going to be, extremely sexually explicit or reveal themselves a lot, totally fine. Go off, do what you
Hmm.
need to do. I just wish that they were provided like actual depth. Like Bree's only personality trait is that she wants to sleep with Trent, and the other girl's personality trait is that she likes the guy who gets shot in the face with an arrow. Jenna's the only one with a personality, and her personality is pretty much I'm not an asshole. She's just compassionate to strangers. Um,
Yeah, yeah. The girl who gets like her head, or the girl whose boyfriend gets shot in the head with the arrow. She's just like when when he steals the Escalade, because Trent's driving an Escalade in this movie because
oh
he's
my
rich.
god, yes, they had to let you know that
He's
he had
like,
money.
"Oh, is it bad that I like that you did that, or
Oh
something along
yeah,
the line?"
I'm pretty sure I was too busy throwing up in my toilet as she was speaking. But yeah, that is a horrendous line. Um,
That was the most of her character death, pretty much.
yes, yeah, no, that's fucked. I also would have liked it if Jenna cared a little bit about maybe Trent cheating on her, but I guess it was bad place, bad time. But like their relationship pretty much meant nothing, so I didn't really feel bad for her when she got cheated on because it seemed like she had already moved on, fell in love with Clay within 30 seconds.
Within a couple seconds. Honestly, I kind of liked how we didn't have to go through a "oh my god, you're cheating on me" kind of moment. For some reason, I appreciated that.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, they kind of went like this movie. Let's not pretend to be something we're not. You don't give a fuck about the relationship. You just want to see them get killed. So yeah,
Right.
okay, that's fair. All right, so I think after moving on to criticisms,
One more. I had
oh, you
one
got
more.
more? Okay, let's hear it. What do you got?
It's just how, from everything we got from this friend group, how are they friends? I was just so appalled by that. Like, how are they even friends?
I I actually completely agree, but from talking to some of our other friends and from just like hearing what other people go through, it seems like people are really bad at picking friends. Like this seems like they shouldn't like want to hang out with each other.
Hmm.
Um, but I've like seen people do mean shit to each other like this a lot. Couldn't be me. That's why I'm in the house filming podcasts and not out
Like,
there tweaking
we
in the
get
jungle.
the line from Chewie, the
My Asian
this
friend.
Asian guy. Yes, he's like, oh yeah, I knew. He finds the alcohol in the shed or whatever, and he's like, oh man, I knew there was a good reason to be Trent's friend. Like, that's the worst reason to be close to somebody. Like, what is going
Oh yeah,
on here?
free booze and then this random summer house. It's like, dude, like I don't know. Like I'm trying to,
Ooh.
like, how does this work? Does Chewie know Lawrence, who's friends with Trent because they both played
Oh,
football?
football. Yep.
Yeah,
That
is that
sounds
what we're
right.
doing? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, that's a solid theory. Most chilling scene. What horror scene got you the most? Obviously, by this point, you're super desensitized to the movie, and it's probably more of a comfort movie than a horror movie by this point. But is there any scene that kind of still kind of gives you the chills when you rewatch it?
Hmm. The chills, the chills. I would probably say there's two. The one where the girl gets stabbed in the tunnel, like I knew it was coming, but like the anticipation, I was like, okay, that actually kind of got me again.
That's fair.
And maybe the other time where he kills the girl with the hanger, the door hanger, because it's implied that he climbs up this window with. Okay, also there's a window and there's like these bottles in front of the open window. You're telling me that this nigga got in, either destroyed those bottles or perfectly got in to not hit him, or he just picked them back up and placed them
Oh yeah,
there.
no, I like the theory that he sneaks through the window and then puts the bottles back on the windshield. Uh,
Yes, but okay, yes, but with the scene where he's kind of in the closet and he's just like, again, oh my god, Jason's behind me. He's like
yeah.
three times. But
Yeah.
yeah, those are the only two. How about you?
I would say the boat scene, watching that boat still like speeding towards her, knowing she can't really
Oh,
move, she gets
okay.
hit in the head. That one's pretty
Mhm.
good. That still makes me extremely uncomfortable. And then if I'm looking for another one, maybe maybe getting hit with the axe at first, and then he's approaching you, and you can't move, and you're just sitting there screaming for help, and you can't really
Oh,
like do
Lawrence.
anything
Yeah,
about it. Yeah,
yeah. It was
especially
kind of.
because it seemed like he could escape.
Yeah, he was running, man. But as soon as I saw him pick up the axe, man, I'm like, oh, he's done, man. Jason's not gonna miss.
I think that's gonna be okay. So we'll do pick your death scene. So how would you prefer to go out of all the
Oh,
death scenes in the movie? Which one would you take? How would you let Jason kill you?
hmm.
This is a
I,
stumper because he kind of murders the shit out of everybody in this movie.
okay, I think the easiest would say would be the arrow to the head.
Oh, that one's pretty steep.
I think so because the Chewie had a pretty brutal death with that with
The screwdriver in the neck.
to the neck. That's a
Oh, that
very
is fucked. Yeah,
brutal
you're right. Oh my god,
death.
this is hard. I don't like this.
Yeah, Trent getting impaled. I don't think I would have been the one either.
Shit, you're right. That does sound terrible. Yeah, nobody really kind of like gets out easy. Maybe if like getting slammed on the coat rack and just
Yeah,
dying like that, that might be not too
yeah,
terrible.
because maybe you would like hit your spine and you won't feel any pain or something like that. I could see that being the
Yeah,
case.
if that's a one tap, I honestly I think I can get down with that one.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that's fair. I can see that.
Yeah, stepping on that bear track or burning the trap or
Oh no,
burning to death. Fuck that.
no.
No. Okay. Okay, we're on the same page. All right, so after that, we'll go to the Graves mistake. So, the Graves mistake, for anyone who is unfamiliar, is the decision a character makes that ultimately leads to the worst demise in the film, basically the poorest decision. And I'm going to go with. Hmm.
I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
It's got to be Trent just running off by himself. What is he doing? Sticking together, that's the best thing to do in a horror movie. And this dude just full sprints the complete opposite direction. And of course, Jason's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go after this dude first." And he uses his little his little his mist ability where he just teleports
Oh, yeah,
right.
you're absolutely right. That was the dumbest decision in the movie to just know that you have a gun and there's three of you versus one guy and to run away by yourself.
There's
Yeah, you're
no
right.
way.
You're right. Um, Jason's a genius tactician in this movie. If you've noticed, he like takes everybody's keys and cuts off lights and phone cords in this
Wait, where are
movie.
my keys? Where are my keys?
Yeah, so at least I got to see a little bit of some chess from Jason there. Um, here, oh, so new segment,
Mhm.
representation station. So
Okay.
now, based on the representation we're seeing in these horror movies, as two minorities ourselves, how did you feel that this movie treated representation?
So, okay. Obviously the stereotype typical Asian person is smart and the nerd, but for some they did like the opposite where he's like the drunk like party guy. So I can commend them for not doing the stereotypical Asian like trait, but still these two are just like they were just in the movie for comedic purposes, I would
Oh, and
say.
to me, they lose all of their not racism points when they made their black character an athletic rapper.
Yes. Yes. Of course he's running away full speed like this dude can run like a
For a
40-yard dash.
400 in like 2 seconds.
Yes.
And you know what's even worse about it is they don't even give him like a cool, like they don't even make him cool like the classic cool black character. The guy
No.
starts smacking his
Start
Johnson to
jerking
himself
off.
to a
Yes.
magazine in the living room. Like this guy
Yes.
sucks, man. Lawrence is an asshole. Yeah, 0 out of 10 on the representation station
It's
score.
so bad. It's like, yeah, we had two minorities and they both died.
How do you think
Let
this? How do you think this goes if the cast is all black? The entire
all
group is
black.
black. Yeah.
Ooh. First of all, we don't own this is an Airbnb if everybody's black, okay.
Yeah, we've done one of these before.
Oh yes, we have done one of these before.
Yeah,
We have.
yeah.
So also there's no boat. Okay. Also, there's no getting in the water.
You don't
Okay.
think so?
Mm,
Yeah, this is what I think. This is what I think. If everyone in this movie is black, this is how the movie goes.
okay.
So, two people are like, "Hey, y'all, we finna go by. We going down by the lake. You know, if y'all want to come,
Yeah.
all right, let's grab some stuff real quick. We'll meet y'all down there, or we'll all go together. We're all at the lake, or we're all in the cabin, right?
Oh, yeah, we're all together.
Yeah, like the whole
You're right.
time.
You're
Like
right. That's a great
nobody's
example.
splitting up in the woods. Actually, nobody would be in these woods like that. It'd be like, first of all,
Mm,
Crystal Lake. Didn't like 9 kids just go missing there? Because somebody's mama would have told them what happened on the news last night. It'd have been like, "Hey, mom, they trying to go down by the lake." Oh, nah. They just got 3 kids murdered down there, right? They didn't
oh,
even
of
find
course.
their bodies. 3 missing children. Exactly where
Yeah,
you just went.
they would
They,
find out
yeah,
no
they
matter
be,
what.
they killing down there. Yeah, you ain't going. They'd be like, oh, okay, or even if they're in college, somebody's mom would have told them that there was like 9 missing kids about the same age group. So nobody would have gone. That shit would have been canceled. We would have gone to Miami or something.
Yeah, so also, I think we would have just dipped. Like the first thing that oh boy does, Lawrence, he fights and he flees. I think we're doing the same. I
Oh
don't think
yeah.
there's I think, and we're all together. We're not splitting up in separate directions. Like, what are we doing? Like, no.
The one excuse this movie does have, though, is most of the characters are killed away from the large group, so no one is really familiar with the fact that there's a killer on the loose
Okay.
until like
Okay.
that
Yeah,
final
you're
look.
right.
But
You're
even
right.
so, like the head ass decisions to split up and to do whatever the entire movie were just like insane to me. So next we got sequel possibility. This is a little bit easier considering there's like 11 movies. But as
Yeah,
a
so this is way
2009
before
sequel, how do you think this happens?
that. Well, obviously, the last scene is Jason. He's still alive, jumping out of the water, breaking through the dock to. That's
Yes,
probably the same dock he killed that girl at too.
it is.
But breaking through the dock to grab the girl who looks like his mom into the water.
Mm.
So as soon as it happened, I was like, as Clay, you're jumping in that water immediately, right? Like,
You think so?
it, hmm,
I'm
that's
thinking this is like the original Friday the 13th sequel possibility. I think she wakes up in the hospital. She's like, I was grabbed by Jason. They're like, that dead kid. Yeah, you're definitely geeking right now.
oh
And
my
we're gonna need you to
god.
sleep. And then she wakes up and she's either for some reason invested in returning to Crystal Lake or Jason's coming after her. And then Clay becomes like the Tommy Jarvis style figure whose like sole purpose is to keep people from coming to the lake and hunts Jason with like a M1 Garand every time he resurrects from the dead.
See the sequel for me, man, because they could have just both died there, and then we get some more kids coming out, or we can get like the parents coming out, right?
Oh, like a full
Or
franchise reset. You're thinking the next movie is just a new batch of kids, and then the parents get involved, and they're like, "Yeah, 90 years ago, we covered up that Crystal Lake murder, where we
or
pushed that disabled kid into the lake and let him drown."
maybe they can like start a new Camp Crystal Lake. It's like Jurassic Park when they just
Oh,
do
okay. So like a
it.
gentrifying developer shows up and like fully wipes the
Yes,
camp, and now
here.
it's Camp Diamond Lake. It's like the grand reopening.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't watch that.
Oh, oh my gosh, I would. I think I would.
All right. Honestly, anything else you got for this movie? Any favorite parts that we didn't touch on, or little nitpicks that just make this movie an absolute just
I
nightmare to witness?
like I just hope our black brothers and sisters get better treatment in the future movies that we go over, man.
You know
Same thing
what?
with the minorities.
Jordan Peele's been helping us out. I'm not gonna
Oh yeah, we'll
lie,
get to
been
that.
helping
We'll
us
get
out. We'll get to those. Um,
No Hispanic representation in this movie as well.
no, not that I know of. Pretty
Yeah,
poor, pretty poor.
maybe one of the girls, but yeah.
They need to do better. 2009 Friday. Oh, here's another thing I forgot to mention that I'm not a fan of. Stop randomly turning the slasher killers into like weird women kidnappers. Like Jason doesn't need to kidnap someone to keep them in the basement. This isn't like See No Evil with Kane from the WWE. You know, this
Mhm.
isn't Judith Myers and a Halloween 3. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to have that weird one girl obsession. Just have him kill people. Just have your final girl scenario. He's got mommy issues. You know, just do that. Um, some Pamela Voorhees whispering would have been nice. Like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, that would have been a little bit nicer to get us a little bit more into the ghostly vibes. But other than that, solid movie, classic, very good option to show someone who's never been introduced to the series before. Where would you put this in the pantheon of Friday the 13th movies?
And I haven't watched them in so long. There's got to be like I don't even know how many movies there are, but probably towards the if there's a top, middle, and a bottom,
Yeah.
it is in between the middle and the bottom.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'd put this one at the middle. It's very interesting. I think some of the earlier sequels suck so much they're not worth watching.
Hmm.
This movie is like a good recap. It's like I'm only gonna watch one Friday the 13th movie this year. Which one's it gonna be? Honestly, sometimes it's gonna be this one. It plays all the hits. You get the whole story, and the graphics are a little bit better. And the visuals. So
Yeah,
um,
this is probably the best looking, right? This is the most modern Friday the 13th movie we got so far.
yeah, I think it's the one that came out the most recent.
Ooh. I think actually Freddy versus Jason might have came out.
Oh, you're right. It did. Yeah, you're right. Because I think that's
And that movie
2011 or something.
cinematic masterpiece. So yes.
Okay. Honestly, I don't think it's worth telling you guys what we're gonna do next because it seems like we don't even know. So
I have no idea.
yeah, so thank you guys for listening to our Friday the 13th episode. We're gonna
Thank
keep
you.
these episodes coming, and hopefully we have more criticisms to bring you from our favorite horror movies. And I promise we do like them, even though we like to make fun of them.